is the most common dryer used, which consists of rotating cylinder inside which the materials flow while getting in contact with hot gas. A. Tower dryer. B. Centrifugal dryer. C. Tray dryer. Rotary dryer. Is the ratio of the mass of water vapor in air and the mass of air if it is saturated is called a humidity ratio. B. Mass ratio. C. Vapor ratio. D. Relative humidity. Is the ratio of the mass of water vapor in air and the mass of air if it is saturated is called a humidity ratio. B. Mass ratio. C. Vapor ratio. D. Relative humidity. The hands feel painfully cold when the skin temperature reaches 8 degrees CB, 10 degrees CC, 12 degrees CD, 14 degrees Celsius. The refrigerant used in steam jet cooling is A. Steam. R11C. Ammoniad. Water. The total heat of the air is a function of WB temperature ebb, dP temperature ec, dB temperatured, WB depression. Boiling point of Freon 12 at atmospheric pressure is A 21 degrees FB, 15 degrees FC, 5 degrees FD, 28 degrees Fahrenheit. Which of the following is not a type of water-cooled condenser in refrigeration? A. Double pipe ebb, double shell, shell and coiled, shell and tube. Component of absorption refrigeration system in which the solution is cooled by cooling water. A. Rectifier. B. Generator. C. Evaporator. D. Absorber. Cascade refrigeration cycle is often used in industrial process where objects must be cooled to temperature below -46 degrees CB, -56 degrees CC, -66 degrees CD, -76 degrees Celsius. Type of refrigerant control designed to maintain a pressure difference while the compressor is operating. A. Thermostatic expansion valve. B. Using low side float flooded system. C. Automatic expansion valve. Capillary tube. As a rule of thumb, for a specified amount of compressed air, the power consumption of the compressor decreases by underscore 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 for each 3 degrees Celsius drop in the temperature inlet air to the compressor. A. 1%, 1.5% C, 2%, 2.5%. Modern way of detecting air compressor leak is by using soup and water. B. Air leak detector. C. Acoustic leak detector. D. Ammonia leak detector. For foundation of stacks, the maximum pressure on the soil is equal to the pressure due to the weight and the underscore 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 A. Soil movement. Wind movement. C. Ground movement. Engine movement. Foundation bolts of specified size should be used and surrounded by a pipe sleeve with an inside diameter of at least 3 times the diameter of engine bolt. 2 times the diameter of engine bolt. C. 3 times the diameter of anchor bolt. 2 times the diameter of anchor bolt. For multi-stage compression of an ideal Brayton cycle, the back ratio will increase B. Decrease C. Remains the same. None of these. Type of turbine that has a specific speed below 5. A. Impulse turbine. B. Propeller turbine. C. Francis turbine. Darius turbine. A high discharge type of turbine. Impulse turbine. B. Propeller turbine. C. Francis turbine. Darius turbine. Used to minimize the speed rise due to a sudden load reject iona. Needle valve ebb. Wicket gate shut off. Shut off valve. Jet deflector. Is the speed of a turbine when the head on the turbine is 1 meter. Specific speed. Rated speed. Utilized speed. Unit speed. Is a fluid property which refers to the intermolecular attraction by which the separate particles of the fluid are held together. A. Cohesion. B. Adhesion. Surface tension. Hypertension. Which of the following is not the cause of black smoke in diesel engine? A. Fuel valve open too long. B. High compression pressure wreck. Carbon in exhaust piped. Overload on engine. Which of the following is not a method of starting a diesel engine? A. Manual, rope, crank and kick. B. Electric, battery, C. Compressed air. Using another generator. Two-stroke engine performs underscore 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 to complete one cycle. A. Suction and discharge stroke AB. Compression and power stroke EC. Power and exhaust stroked. Suction and exhaust stroke. A type of geothermal plant used when there is a presence of brine extracted from underground. A. Dry geothermal plant. B. Double flash geothermal. C. Single flash geothermal plant. Binary geothermal plant. Is the most important safety device on the power boiler. A. Check valve EB. Gate valve EC. Safety valve. Globe valve. During hydrostatic test, the safety valves should be A. Removed. Open. Closed. Partially closed. Where deaerating heaters are not employed, it is recommended that the temperature of the feed water be not less than underscore 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 A 197 degrees CB 102 degrees CC 104 degrees CD 106 degrees Celsius. Is a reaction during which chemical energy is released in the form of heat. A. Cosmic reaction. B. Ethnic reaction. Endothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction. By reheating the steam in an ideal Rankine cycle, the heat rejected will A. Increase. B. Decrease. C. Remains the same. None of these. By increasing the boiler pressure in Rankine cycle, the moisture content at boiler exit will A. Increase. B. Decrease. C. Remains the same. None of those. Presently the highest steam temperature allowed at the turbine inlet is about underscore 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 A 340 degrees CB 520 degrees CC 620 degrees CD 1020 degrees Celsius. Two most common gases employed in Stirling and Ericsson cycles are A. Air and helium. B. Oxygen and helium. C. Hydrogen and helium. D. Nitrogen and helium. In most common design of gas turbine, the pressure ratio ranges from 10 to 12 B, 11 to 16 C, 12 to 18 D, 15 to 20. In Brayton cycle, the heat is transformed during what process? A. Constant temperature. B. Isentropic process. C. Isobaric process. Isochoric process. The fuel injection process in diesel engine starts when the piston underscore 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 A is at the TDCB, leaving TDCC, approaches TDCD halfway of the stroke. If the cut-off ratio of diesel cycle increases, the cycle efficiency will decrease. B. Increase. C. Remains the same. None of these. The fuel used in a power plant that is used during peak periods. A. Gassy. B. Solid. C. Liquid. None of these. Typical compression ratio of Otto cycle ESA 6B8C 10D12. If Joule-Thomson coefficient is equal to 0, then the process will become isentropic. Isenthalpy C. Isobaric. Isothermal. If the fluid passed through a nozzle, its entropy will increase b. Decrease ec. Remains the same. None of these. Refrigerant consisting of mixtures of two or more different chemical compounds, often used individuals as refrigerant for other applications. A. Suspension b. Compound reaction. Blends. Mixing of refrigerant. Pairs of mating stop valves that allow sections of a system to be joined before opening these valves or separated after closing them. Check valve EB. Gate valve EC. Safety valve. Companion valve. An enclosed passageway that limits travel to a single path. A. Corridor B. Hallway C. Lobby. Tunnel. For immediate dangerous to life or health, IDHL, the maximum concentration from which unprotected persons are able to escape within ______ without escape impairing symptoms or irreversible health. A. 15 min. 1 mink. 20 mind. 30 minutes. The volume as determined from internal dimensions of the container with no allowance for the volume of internal parts. A. Internal allowance B. Internal gross volume EC. Internal interference volume D. Internal fits volume. A waiting room or large hallway serving as a waiting room. A. Terrace B. Restroom C. Compound room D. Lobby. A continuous and unobstructed path of travel from any point in a building or structure to a public via. Average of egress B. Mean of egress C. Hallway of egress. Pathway of egress. Any device or portion of the equipment used to increase refrigerant pressure. Pressure relief device B. Pressure imposing element C. Pressure lift device. Pressure limiting device. The quantity of refrigerant stored at some point is the refrigeration system for operational, service, or standby purposes / a pressure vessel B. Pump down charge EC. Liquid receiver deaccumulator. Secondary refrigerant is a liquid used for the transmission of heat, without a change of state, and having no flashpoint or a flashpoint above ______ as determined from ASTM 150 FB 160 FC 180 FD 200 F. A service valve for dual pressure relief devices that allows using one device while isolating the other from the system, maintaining one valve in operation at all times. A. Three-way valve EB. Two-way valve EC. One-way valve. Four-way valve. Tubing that is enclosed and therefore exposed to crushing, abrasion, puncture, or similar damage after installation. A. Protected tubing. Bare tubing. Open tubing. Unprotected tubing. Refers to blends comprising multiple components of different volatile that, when used in refrigeration cycles, change volumetric composition and saturation temperature as they evaporate, boil, or condense at constant pressure. A. Zeolitab. Blending. Compositioned. Zootropic. Is a premises or that of a premise from which, because they are disabled, debilitated, or confined, occupants cannot readily leave without the assistance of others. Institutional occupancy B. Public assembly occupancy. Residential occupancy. Commercial occupancy. is one in which a secondary coolant is in direct contact with the air or other substance to be cooled or heated. A double indirect open spray system. Indirect open spray system. Indirect closed system. Indirect, vert closed system. Refrigerant number R744 is a butanib. Carbon monoxide. Propanid. Carbon dioxide. Refrigerant number R1150 ESA. Propilenib. Ethanic. Ethand. Methylformate. Refrigerant R40 is a chlorodifluoromethanib. Difluoromenthanic. Ammoniad. Chloromethane. When the air duct system serves several enclosed spaces, the permissible quantity of refrigerant in the system shall not exceed the amount determined by using the total volume of those spaces in which the airflow cannot be reduced to less than of its maximum when the fan is operating. 1/4 b. 1/2 quarter. 3/4. 1/4 quarter. The space above a suspended ceiling shall not be included in calculating the permissible quantity of refrigerant in the system unless such space is continuous and is part of the air return system. Partition. Plenumsk. Separator. Plate divider. Which of the following is not a possible location of service valve? A. Suction of compressor. B. Discharge of compressor. Outlet of liquid receiver. Outlet of condenser. A coil in series with evaporator that is used to prevent the liquid refrigerant entering the compressor. Accumulator. B. Liquid superheater. Dryer looped. Liquid suction heat exchanger. A type of valve connected from discharge of compressor directly to suction that is normally closed and will open automatically only if there is high discharge pressure. Check valve. Solenoid valve. King valve. Relief valve. Used to increase the capacity of condenser. Water regulating valve. Desuperheating coils. Liquid suction heat exchanger. Condenser heating coils. Is used to subcool the refrigerant from the condenser. Liquid subcooler. Condenser subcooler. Desuperheating coils. Liquid receiver. Which of the following is not a part of low pressure side in refrigeration system? A. Compressor. B. Condenser. Liquid lined. Suction line. Which of the following is not a part of condensing unit? A. Compressor. B. Discharge line. C. Condenser. Liquid line. By subcooling the refrigerant in refrigeration system, the compressor power per unit mass will increase. B. Decrease. Remains the same. None of these. Superheating the refrigerant in refrigeration system, the specific volume at compressor suction will increase. B. Decrease. Remains the same. None of these. By subcooling the refrigerant in refrigeration system, the specific volume at compressor suction will increase. B. Decrease. Remains the same. None of these. Pressure loss due to friction at the condenser, the compressor power per unit mass will increase. B. Decrease. Remains the same. None of these. Which of the following is not a type of air-cooled condenser? A. Shell and tube. B. Natural draft. C. Forced draft. Induced draft. A type of refrigerant control typically used in household refrigeration. A. Thermostatic expansion valve. B. Automatic expansion valve. C. Capillary tubed. High side float. Type of condenser that operates like a cooling water. Air-cooled condenser. B. Evaporative condenser. Shell and tube condenser. Water-cooled condenser. The major problem of heat pump is refrigerant usage. Outside air. Supply air. Frosting. Dominant refrigerant used in commercial refrigeration system. R11B, R22C, R12D, R502. Cascade refrigerant system are connected in a series parallel. Series paralleled. Parallel is used to heat up the solution partially before entering the generator in absorption refrigeration system. Rectifier. Absorber. Regenerator. Pump. The COP of actual absorption refrigeration system is usually A less than 1B, less than 2C, less than 3D, less than 4. Sight glass is often located at A. Discharge line B, liquid line C between condenser and liquid receiver. Suction line. Used to detect a vibration in current caused by the ionization of decomposed refrigerant between two opposite charged platinum electrodes. Electronic detector. Halide torch C. Bubble method. Pressurizing. The ability of oil to mix with refrigerants. Carbonization. Purging. Mixing. Miscibility. Joints and all refrigerants containing parts of a refrigerating system located in an air duct carrying conditioned air to and from an occupied space shall be constructed to withstand a temperature of _____ without leakage into the air stream. A 550 FB 600 FC 650 FD 700 F. Refrigerant piping crossing an open space that affords passageway in any building shall be not less than above the floor unless the piping is located against the ceiling of such space and is permitted by the authority having jurisdiction. 2.2 MB 3.2 MC 4.2 MD 5.2 M. Methyl chloride shall not be in contact with aluminum, zinc, C, magnesium. All of these shall not be in contact with any halogenated refrigerants. Aluminum, zinc, C, magnesium. All of these are suitable for use in ammonia system. Copper, aluminum and its alloy C, plastic, cast iron. In a pressure relief device is used to protect a pressure vessel having an inside dimension of 6 in or less. The ultimate strength of the pressure vessel so protected shall be sufficient to withstand a pressure at least ____ the design press area. 2 times EB, 3 times K, 4 times, 5 times. Seats and discs shall be limited in distortion, by pressure, or other cause, to set pressure change of not more than ____ in a span of 5 years. A 1% B 5% C 10% D 50%. Liquid receivers, if used or parts of a system designed to receive the refrigerant change during pump down charge. The liquid shall not occupy more than ____ of the volume when temperature of the refrigerant is 95. 80% B 85% C 90% D 95%. The discharge line, B4, shall be vented to the atmosphere through a ____ fitted to its upper extremity. A nozzle. Convergent divergent nozzleic. Piped. Diffuser. Convert fossil fuels into the shaft work. Nuclear power plant. Gas turbine power plant. C. Dendrothermal power plant. Thermal power plant. Ultimate strength drops by 30% as steam temperature raises from _____ for unalloyed steel. 300 to 400 cb. 400 to 500 cubic centimeters, 600 to 700 cd. 700 to 800 c. Recent practice limits steam temperature TOA. 438 cb. 538 cubic centimeters, 648 cd. 738 c. In a closed feed water heater, the feed water pass through a inside the tubeb, outside the tubec, inside the shelled, outside the shell. Is used if extracted steam upon condensation gets subcooled. Trap. Deaerator. Filtered. Drain cooler. Needs only single pump regardless of number of heater saw. Open heater. Closed heater. Mono heatered. Regenerative heater. Is also known as deaeratora. Open heater. Closed heater. Reheat heatered. Regenerative heater. Dissolve gases like underscore 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 makes water corrosive, react with metal to form iron oxide. O2 and N2B, O2 and COC. O2 and CO2D. N2 and SO2. A cycle typically used in paper mills, textile mills, chemical factories, sugar factories, and rice mills. Cogeneration cycle. Combined cyclic. Byproducts cycled. Cascading cycle. When process steam is basic need and power is byproduct, this cycle is known as a cogeneration cycle. Combined cyclic. Byproduct cycled. Cascading cycle. A type of turbine employed where steam continuously extracted for process heating. Back pressure turbine. Gas turbine. Steam turbine. Pass out turbine. Which of the following is used for binary cycle power generation for high temperature application? A. Mercury. Sodium. Potassium. All of these. Critical temperature of mercury ESA. 1160 cb. 1260 cubic centimeters, 1360 cd. 1460 c. Critical pressure of mercury is a 100 mpab. 108 mpag. 128 mpad. 158 MPa. Method used in converting heat directly to electricity by magnetism. Electromagnetic induction. Magnetodynamic. Magnetohydrodynamic. Thermoelectric. Which of the following is not a material used for thermoelectric elements? Bismuth telluride. Lead telluride. Zinc telluride. Germanium. A type of coal formed after Anthratacea. Lignite. Bituminous. Peat. Graphite. Which of the following is lowest grade of coal? A. Peat. Lignite. Subbituminous. Bituminous. Which of the following helps in the ignition of coal? A. Moisture. Ash. C. Fixed carbon. Volatile matter. Is the ratio of fixed carbon and volatile matter. A. Air-fuel ratio. Fuel ratio. Combustion ratio. Carbon volatile ratio. A suspension of a finely divided fluid in another. A. Filtration. Flotation. Emulsion. Separation. Contains 90% gasoline and 10% ethanol. A. Gasohol. Gasanol. Gasothanol. Gasthanol. Process used commercially in coal liquefaction. A. Tropsch process. Fischer process. C. Fischer-Tropsch process. Mitsch-Tropsch process is an organic matter produced by plants in both land and water. A. Bioethanol. Biomass. Petroleum. Biodegradable. In thermal power plant, induced draft fans are located at the exit of furnace B. Foot of the stack C. Above the stock. Top of the stack. Known as drumless boiler. A. Lamont boiler B. Fire tube boiler C. Force circulation boiler D. Once through boiler. Reduces the steam temperature by spraying low temperature water from boiler drum. A. Reheater B. Preheater C. Desuperheater D. Superheater. Carbon dioxide can be removed by a deaeration B. Aeration. Evaporation. Vaporization. Is often used to absorb silica from water. A. Sorbent. Rectifier C. Silica geld. Magnesium hydroxide. Presence of excess hydrogen ions makes the water acidic. Alkalinitic. Based. Hydroxicity. pH of water varies with the pressure ebb, temperature C, density D, volume. pH value of ______ is usually maintained for boiler water to minimize corrosion. A. 8.5 B 9.5 C 10.5 D 11.5. What type of turbine that has a degree of reaction of 1/2? A. Impulse turbine. B. Reaction turbine. Rarson's turbine. Duriez turbine. Tranquil flow must always occur above the normal depth, above the critical depth C, below the normal depth, below the critical depth. Which of the following head loss coefficient among the following types of entrance? A. Bell mouth. Square eject. Reentrant. It depends. What waste treatment method involves of algae from stabilization pond effluents? A. Sedimentation. B. Flotation. Filtration. Microscreening. The number of nozzles will depend on the quantity of steam required by the turbine. If nozzles occupy the entire ring, the turbine is said to have a partially full peripheral admission. 1/2 peripheral admission. Maximum peripheral admission. Full peripheral admission. Tandem compound units may also have two low-pressure castings that produces a single flow B. Double flow C. Triple flowed. Quadruple flow. A type of turbine used for driving pumps, fans, and other auxiliaries in power plant commonly operate at exhaust pressure approximating atmospheric. A. Tandem compound turbine. B. Pass-out turbine. C. Cross-compound turbine. Back-pressure turbine. A governor with 0% regulation is termed as a isochronous governor. B. Synchronous governor. C. Isenchronous governor. Isobarnous governor. The speed regulation for most turbine generators is adjustable from A2 to 6%, B4 to 8%, C6 to 10%, D8 to 12%. Poppet valves of steam turbine are used for extraction pressure of A20 to 120 sig, 20 to 150 sig, 20 to 130 sigud, 20 to 140 sig. When both bearings of steam engines are on one side of the connecting rod, the engine is referred to as a center crank engine. A. Side crank engine. A. Under crank engine. Standard crank engine. When the valve in steam engine is in mid-position of its travel, it will cover the steam port by an amount known A steam lap, B partial lap. Full LAPD. Angular lap. A type of governor in steam engine that do not control the actual admission of steam to the cylinder but controls the pressure of the steam. A. Flyball governor. Variable cut-off governor. Throttling governor. Shaft governor. By intercooling using two-stage compressor of Brayton cycle, the back work ratio will A increase B. Decrease C remains constant. None of these. On dynamic similitude, the relation which represents the ratio of inertia force to pressure force is a Froude number B. Cauchy number C. Euler numbered. Reynolds number. What is the maximum velocity in a sewer flowing full? A 0.6 m/sec. 0.9 m/sec. 1.2 m/sec. 1.8 m/sec. A temporary structure constructed to exclude water from the side of the foundation during its excavation and construction is called A. Calzone. Retaining wall. Coffer dammed. Earth dam. Which is not a physical characteristic of water, a total suspended and dissolved solids. Tubiditic. Colored. Hardness. Which dam is best for weak foundation, A. Gravity. B. Arch. C. Buttressed. Earth. What is the volume of water which will drain freely from the aquifer? A. Specific yield. B. Reservoir yield. C. Safe yield. Secondary yield. What is the line defined by the water level in a group of artesian wells? A. Water table. B. Piezometric surface. C. Specific yield. All of the above. Select the one that is a positive indication of pollution of a river. A. Acidity. B. Oxygen content. C. Chloride content. Nitrite content. The cooling water is made to fall in series of baffles to expose large surface area for steam led from below to come in direct contact. A. Spray condenser. B. Surface condenser. C. Jet condenser. D. Barometric condenser. Show the variation of river flow, discharge, with Tamiya. Hydrograph. B. Hydrograph. C. Mass curved. Flow duration curve. Is an open channel erected on a surface above the ground. A. Canal. B. Tunnel. C. Penstock. Flume. Type of turbine used up to 300 MHz. Impulse turbine. B. Francis turbine. C. Propeller turbine. Darius turbine. Oil is atomized either by air blast or pressure jet at about a 60 bar. B. 70 bar. 80 bar. 90 bar.